This is the Blackberry P1. Just kidding, it's the Titan Pocket from Unihertz. A truly great homage to the glorious Blackberries we used to keep in our holsters. Now, those days are far behind us. Unfortunately, this world has enough QWERTY lovers to bring them back. This is my review of the Unihertz Titan Pocket featuring the company's after service. First, allow me to start by saying this review is well overdue. Yes, I know, but for good reason. 2 words: quality control. Yeah, the unit I received had a non-responsive touchscreen after just 30 minutes outside the box. So this may very well be the first YouTube video about Unihertz's AS capabilities. So how was the experience, you ask? Well, like most things in the world, some good and bad. For the good, Unihertz responded very quickly to my emails, with most replies coming in within 24 hours. After I gave them the situational details, my device was asked to be shipped back to China for further analysis. And I was lucky enough to have a supplier that works with them in Korea. If you don't have one in your country, well, you're gonna have a hard time. Now, the device apparently was faulty, as I was given a brand new Titan Pocket with no extra fees charged. And this new Titan Pocket actually had a better finish compared to the previous one, which gave me doubts in Unihertz's quality control. And I wish Unihertz had explained to me what or how the problem occurred. That was the only question I did not get a reply for. But honestly, for a small overseas company that hasn't even officially launched here in Korea, I was rather impressed. After 2 months of email and shipment, I finally received my new phone and immediately put in my main SIM. This feels wrong. Now, coming back to the phone, I can confidently say that this was the best $220 I've ever spent. Kickstarter price. Now, I may be slightly biased, but my reasons for getting the Titan Pocket may very well put you off, so here they are. First, the design. In my previous video, I said the phone looks like a device straight out of a Batman movie. And that holds true. In fact, I would go as far as to say that this phone looks so good, DC should consider using this as their movie prop. Not the most original design, I know, looking like a beefed up version of the Blackberry Q10 with a slight Vertu on top, literally. And I'm not so happy with the slippery aluminum sides, but at least it offers an interesting look to it that feels quite expensive too. Speaking of, the device feels incredibly solid, with just the right heft that makes its presence known in your pocket. On the top, you have the good old 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the sides, light but clicky buttons. One of which, if you can guess, allows you to map a specific function through short, double, and long press. It's red, by the way, and I do like it, but some texturing would have been a nice touch. Durability wise, it survived 2 pretty bad falls on rough concrete, so that's awesome. Still, for such a rugged design, the absence of waterproofing was a letdown. But then again, it does have like a zillion keys, so. And in case you're wondering, that metal plate on the back is a magnet that I stacked on to use the phone as a navigation. I know it sounds silly on this 3.1-inch screen, but trust me, it's quite usable. In that context, the screen was also pretty good. Bright, and despite being an LCD, colors vibrant. But I did wish Unihertz went the extra mile, or at least half an inch in this case. The small phones are great, but it's really hard to get much use out of them, especially since the device runs Android 11 and not BB10, with most apps not designed for such a small screen. Now moving on to the main event, the keyboard I can't get enough of. Seriously, that black and silver combo never gets old, and the keys feel pretty good too. It's still no Blackberry in my opinion, but it gets close, with keys that are clicky but have thin travel. The layout is the same one found in Passports from years back, so as a Blackberry Passport SE user, I got the hang of it pretty quickly. The problem lies with the shift key. Its single placement on the left is fine, but you have to continuously hold it down to register, kinda like a computer keyboard. This makes it immensely annoying to capitalize the left portion of the keys and disrupts the flow when typing. Now, it seems like it could be a swift fix via OTA updates, and hopefully Unihertz has some plans for one soon, but I don't have too high hopes. I actually would have much preferred a right-sided shift key instead of this function key. Still have no idea what that's for. One more thing. If you're multilingual, some languages like Korean aren't supported in the native keyboard software. And while you can replace it with the Google variant, it's admittedly a less cohesive experience with harder access to symbols. And then there's the minor inconveniences such as the lack of an indicator bump, which makes it hard to type by feel. So that's quite a list of downers for one of the main reasons of buying the phone. Yet, the sheer functionality and satisfaction of typing on a physical keyboard, plus the level of quality Unihertz managed to achieve for the price, makes this phone more than a straight novelty purchase. The keyboard on the phone gives some useful goodies too, like being able to use the keyboard as a touchpad, setting shortcuts for each key, and double pressing the spacebar to receive and end a call. That leaves us with user experience. The specs are hardly the showstopper for the phone, with a 2-year-old MediaTek processor and a set of pretty crappy cameras. But for the tasks this phone was meant to handle, like emails and communication, it performed with flying colors. The phone calls were great with no complaint from either the caller or the receiver, and the single speaker, note I said single, got very loud, though the backward placement took a while to get used to. As for the UI, it's basically stock, and personally it was fun to add in some BB10 flavor to the mix. But I gotta say, the Niagara launcher goes really well with the minimalist look for the Titan Pocket. Lastly, the 4000 mAh battery, in combination with the small screen, gave out a solid 5 hours of screen on time. That concludes this review, folks. Now, I won't mention the obvious, that the Unihertz Titan Pocket is for people with special needs and wants. If you want this phone, chances are you already know what you're getting into. Security remains one of the biggest concerns that prevents me from recommending these type of products. But for once in a long time, I can safely say I enjoy using my phone again. This was longer than my usual videos, so if you stuck till the end, thank you for that, and a like and sub to the channel would really mean a lot. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.